Hey, yo, what's up? Welcome to the Reload Entertainment Studios podcast, also known as Monthly Reload Podcast, if you want to go there as well. So, of course, I'm always going to be here. My name is Trey. Vibralia here with me again. But we have a very, very special guest with us. He is an old high school buddy of mine, xUnlimitedMoney. Here, introduce yourself real quick.
Hi guys, you might not know me, but I'm xUnlimitedMoney, and me and Trey goes way back.
Go back to old Modern Warfare.
Yeah, always Modern Warfare. We grew up the same hometown. It's crazy how far we've come to be there.
Yep. Yeah, we used to run like a little. So me and our little in real life gaming group pretty much ran our little clans on COD. Always run those private matches, pub stomped and everything. Matter of fact, I'd like to give a shout out to one of our friends that was with us in that group, old T-Jack. He used to run with us, and now he's a Twitch partner, Facebook partner, and a YouTube partner.
Hey.
But as a matter of fact, I heard you pretty much helped him out a little bit, didn't you not, Money?
Yeah, back in the beginning, whenever he was just starting out and starting just kind of gaining attraction and stuff, we used to get together. I'd show him how to, edit videos and stuff and do all that, all the fancy work behind the scenes and stuff. It's really cool, and it's nice to know that, helping somebody, like somebody around here actually, got somewhere with something. Because how it is around where we live, it's kind of
most of the people around our area, only thing they ever do with their lives is manual labor, and that's why we're also here today, is basically to start building on bigger dreams and everything. But we'll keep on rolling. But yes, T-Jack is a Twitch partner and everything. We graduated high school and everything. He's a very great guy, plays 2K professionally and everything. So if y'all want to check him out, T-Jack YouTube is what you want to look for.
Yeah, that man can play some basketball.
Alright. So Rez has officially announced its first Apex Kill Race tournament. So April 3rd at 12 p.m. Central Time, we will be starting our very first tournament. We are interested in looking back into getting the esports for now. We do not know if we are going to officially start hosting teams, but for tournaments and everything, and eventually start having much bigger polls and everything for teams, for everybody to come out. It's definitely on the rise as of right now. But for game development, I will say our main project, we basically kind of scrapped a lot of ideas, but with what we did, we're basically adding a lot more creativity to our project, and now there may be some side projects coming in individually from our developers and everything. You got anything you want to say, Braulio, about this?
Well, I think it's definitely a good idea to put into perspective how game dev can be. When we talk about game dev, you might assume it's simple as, drag and drop, and, while some cases that might be true, there's also a lot of, background stuff that we have to do. And unfortunately, we can't really say much about it. We want it to be a surprise. We know you're going to love it, but game dev is tricky. That is true. So, as, Trey here said, we did have to scrap and mess around with a few stuff, but believe me, when you see what we come up with, I know you're gonna love it. I'm loving it. I'm pretty sure everyone else on the team is loving it, and I just can't wait to show you guys. It's just something you gotta hold in, but you're gonna like it. As usual, I'll keep you updated, usually through a form of podcast or anything, and we'll release more information as soon as we can.
Yes, so basically, some of us are, going to college for game development. Some are going for other stuff. I'm going for, as I mentioned before, computer information systems. Basically, ethical hacking, networking, and stuff like that. So basically, when I start learning coding, I'll start to integrate that in game development. I'll start learning game development too. But I'm basically all over the place, so I can't really officially say when we may bring big news, but when we officially start working, we would definitely keep an update on that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, we definitely have like what we want, like setting, story, and everything. We're right now basically coming up with all the pieces and everything. So when we have it all, we can officially start working on there and be done with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, there's the polishing.
Oh, the polish. That's gonna be fun.
But other than that, I know we pretty much went over our game development side a little bit, and we went over our first tournament. Apex is not going to be the only game. I actually had people coming to me about Hunt Showdown, so we may do some of that, some Overwatch, and most likely when Battlefield, spoiler alert, when Battlefield comes out this year, and that is confirmed, by the way, we'll probably be trying to do something with that as well. But Call of Duty and like a lot of other games, we're definitely going to start investing into that. But we got a lot, like there's a lot of projects, but we're pretty much getting to the phase where we're starting to, instead of just playing, we're starting to act out on it now, officially. But also I'm pretty sure I already probably mentioned this, and I always mention the VPN, CyberSmart. Like I pretty much put at the end of one of the episodes previously, so it's getting to the point where DDoS attacks and polling is about to become very, very popular again. As we know, we've seen how prominent it is in R6. Well, when people find out in some recent popular games that it's possible to pull through and everything, then it's going to start causing a lot of issues. And so if y'all are in the Reload server or anything, if you have me on Twitter at @HandofAzazel, just hit me up. I have a VPN. It's really cheap, and I recommend it a lot better than Nord, Express, and all these others. And the fun facts about this, no hacker or anybody can pretty much, like, you know, they can't exploit it. It cannot be down, and it can't be pulled through it. So that's also a neat thing about CyberSmart. But is there anything I missed, old brother? I'm pretty sure we covered up everything before this big topic we got.
I believe that. Yeah, I think you got it. Near the end of our segment, I kind of want to take a little time and go over a few little things that happened. We specifically, when we're talking game dev, I also want to talk about like different platforms, and not just, you know, console, PC. I want to talk about like future platforms. Specifically, I want to talk about VR. If I'm correct, you had experience with VR here recently, no?
Yes, me and my cousin Showtimer HD, we have officially bought an Oculus Quest 2. I also had a few other people, my little brother and my significant other has about Oculus Quest 2 now. And we've definitely been enjoying it. Like, if you have a spare $300, I definitely recommend getting Oculus Quest 2.
Mm-hmm.
The only downfall to it is you have to have a Facebook account, and you have to use your Facebook account to sign in. But other than that, it's worth it. 100% worth it.
VR is fun.
It definitely is. So, like, near the end of this episode, I kind of want to bring that up. Just talk about how it involves on game development, but I think for right now, we can go into our first big topic.
Yeah, this topic's definitely going to be more debates and everything. So if you've been on Twitter recently, you may have seen to where you always know the console wars, Xbox and PlayStation. Well,
forever.
Yeah. So recently, there was starting news of Sony pushing out that the PS3, the PSP, and some other platforms online services will be going down, like even the digital shops, and they're stopping pretty much physical production of games almost. Well, this started getting a lot of game studios to send this hashtag called Forever Physical, because there still is a significant amount of gamers that still still use physical copies and everything. I still like to use them if they're real cheap and everything, but with the way how some things are, digital has been pretty much like the overtaker because it's like easy sales and everything. When it comes to it, digital, there's a thing that's the downfall with digital is some platforms require online always. Thankfully, Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation most likely doesn't, but there still are some like EA and Ubisoft and stuff like that. But so this brought up a big topic on Twitter that soon may be the end of physical copies, pretty much like discs and everything, and everything's going digital. Another con of games being digital is like you've probably seen some of it, like Evolve on Steam, Scott Pilgrim, and some other stuff. Like some games will be posted and then they'll be removed from the store, and you can't ever access it again. If you had a physical copy, you pretty much had that copy forever, as long as you had it and kept it in good shape. And we always, pretty much all of us are big gamers. We've been gamers for over 10 years. We know pretty much that when it comes to cons of physical copies, you gotta take care of them. Your console could crash, and it could crash your disc, and all stuff like that. Pretty much, hardware's not ever perfect, basically. But so there's been a lot of highlight about this, and when the whole Sony versus Xbox thing has been a very, very big topic. Xbox has been seem to be very big on the good side, while Sony seems to be back on the downside. But a lot of the fan base of the PlayStation side turned out to be really, really toxic. So they took this forever physical hashtag and they started changing the story behind it. They were trying to redirect, like pretty much change the correspondence of this hashtag and try to blame Microsoft and Xbox for games not going physical. They're trying to say Xbox Game Pass, pretty much a subscription-based service for like over 300 games. They're trying to say that that's what's getting rid of physical copies of games and everything. I totally believe that's like bullcrap. What do y'all think about that?
Well, you gotta think, PlayStation has PS Now, which is kind of the same concept, so to me it kind of just defeats the whole purpose of even, you get what I'm saying? Like they both have like subscription based, like where you can go and have games. It might not be the newest games. Well, actually they do have some new games on PS Now and stuff, but it kind of still works the same way as Xbox Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And the thing is, you have to be connected online to actually play PS Now.
Mm-hmm, which is,
it's strange.
Yeah, you have to be online only for PS Now and everything, and like they got a lot of exclusives and everything, but they don't always, like unlike the Xbox Game Pass, they don't add new games unless like God of War and all of them. It took them years to finally add it. Like God of War was probably out about almost 3 years now before they finally added it.
Mm-hmm.
No, get Xbox Game Pass, the medium. If you had a PC and you had Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, it was $15 a month. You had straight access to medium right there, like instantly. And a good thing about Xbox Game Pass is you can pay for console, phone, and PC in one subscription.
They do have a bunch of stuff on there too.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair.
Yeah, but in the world and everything, like we'll go back to like the physical versus digital topic. Everything's becoming digital. Like it gets to the point where cloud gaming is actually becoming really, really big. Still rip Google Stadia and everything, but you get the picture. Like xCloud's like taking it up. Like I can hop on my phone right now as long as I have an Xbox controller on Bluetooth. I can literally just instantly play just about any game. Halo Wars 2, Halo 5, anything that's on they allow on there.
Just
and actually,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, you go ahead.
Just in my opinion, like since the new consoles, they're coming out with digital versions. They've done that with even the Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4s. They made digital versions, but they're still like, until PlayStation 5, until I think the next gen after this gen, I think there's still going to be physical copies out there just for the people, just want that physical copy. But afterwards, I'm not too sure, because everything is becoming really easy accessible through digital and stuff.
Well, here's an interesting topic as well. Did you know, ever since 2013, a lot of those physical copies you had to have online to actually download on PlayStation and Xbox? Because what people also don't know is a disc can only hold so much, and it's not a lot.
It's true. So you have to download the rest through still online.
Yeah, you have to download the rest online, and on the physical copy, they don't have to patch it or anything. So you're basically, when you get the disc, you're getting the game basically on scratch. If there's updates or anything, you don't get those updates if you're not connected online. You could literally have game-breaking bugs if you're not even connected online, and until you connect online, you're gonna have to deal with that. Yeah. So if there's a lot of bugs and everything, you just have to suck it up and deal with it, pretty much. One of the downfalls for Xbox, though, is 360 disc and everything still require online when you could put it in an Xbox One.
Yeah.
That is one of the downfalls for those.
One thing people have really overlooked is Nintendo's actually kind of doing the same thing a little bit with the Super Mario All-Stars or whatever, the 3D All-Stars.
Yeah.
After, I think, this month, they're no longer making physical copies or having it on the eShop, so it kind of fits. I figured that kind of fits in the category or the topic we're talking about here.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's a new game, ain't it? And they're talking about taking it off the eShop. And
it's been around. They said when they released it that it was going to come up until I think they're going to quit doing it in March 31st. So they kind of gave everybody heads up, but still, it's kind of like everybody's going to want that game afterwards, and it's just
Yeah, I see what you mean for sure. Yeah, that's one of the downfalls, especially for digital. You could have the game downloaded and everything. There's some games on Steam you could probably still have in your library, and then one day you could hit up and be like, Steam no longer supports this game. RuneScape Auto Adventures. Yeah, pretty much some stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that is just heartbreaking, honestly, that some devs decide to do that and everything, because you could still make a lot of money, profit and everything. So it's just confusing why they would do that. I do know I have a Switch. Honestly, in my opinion, Switch, when it comes to 3DS and Switch, getting a physical is definitely a lot better, because it's basically back to the 360. If you get digital, you have to download it, but if you have the physical, you don't have to. You still don't have to download it. Some games you
play the game.
Some games what's that? Starlink. Some games like that, and probably Witcher as well on the Switch. You probably you still get the physical and still have to download. But there's a lot of games like Pokemon Shield and everything that I have that does not require pretty much a download or anything through physical copies.
I think a lot of it, if you think about it, it's really of the multiplayer aspect of it too. Because a lot multiplayer has changed over the years. It's used to you just be playing a single player game all the time. There'd be more single player games than would be multiplayer games. And now about every game that comes out, it's got multiplayer with it.
Yeah, and that's also I had totally something in my mind. But like when it comes to Nintendo and when it comes to like Nintendo and everything, like they're like they have SD cards as expansions and everything, and you can only have so much. Like it's not like Xbox or PlayStation or PC to where you can put terabytes.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch is so limited because they have to be specific kind of SD cards.
Yeah, it gotta be their brand, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I totally remember what I was going to talk about when you brought up the online portion. Nintendo has been getting so much big backlash over their online service because they've still been using like basically like an AOL style multiplayer service, and the fan base is getting tired of it because it's outdated, and Nintendo is basically not doing anything about it. But
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, no, it's still outdated and everything. Like you have to, like nothing wrong with like putting in codes and everything. Like,
Yeah.
but there's no server browser. There's no matchmaking. There's none of that. Like the only games that are matchmaking were probably like Pokemon and stuff like that. But you had to physically connect. Yeah, you had to physically connect too, and like even if you had good internet, sometimes that stuff just bugs out.
Yeah.
But if it was up to me, I would definitely say like, especially Microsoft and Sony, they could release a lot of games, and I bet you they would make a lot of profit too. And sell them in physical, like they could sell it in physical or digital, and I bet you that they would definitely make a lot of money and a lot of good graces that way. Like if they pretty much made a PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. Like their PlayStation 3 were basically backwards compatible with 1 and 2. They could do literally just those 3 platforms, Sony could, and probably remaster every single game, or at least, very, very popular known ones,
Mhm.
or like they could put some and then upgrade it through time. It's kind of like PlayStation Classic, but PlayStation Classic it was only 20 games, and those 20 games didn't really contain a lot of the games that a lot of people liked back in the day. So you just gotta think. You're just sitting there thinking, it's like, well, they could do something like that, or you're gonna have scalpers and everything try to collect up pretty much every single PS3, and then they're gonna start collecting all the games. I have a PS1 and a PS3. I don't have a PS2, but like just even right now, trying to find some games is expensive and hard to find.
Yeah, because they don't make them no more, so you just gotta hope somebody's got one cheap somewhere.
Or someone just
and just the thing, every household used to have one, pretty much like one console, Xbox or PlayStation, but people were selling them to GameStop, and GameStop was getting rid of them and like breaking them down and stuff. So they're getting a shortage pretty much just about every day.
However we get.
Yeah. I have no doubt that things will get like digital, but if people definitely want to maintain physical, and I believe they should, innovation and everything, I believe there should be new capabilities and everything when it comes to physical copies of games and stuff like that. Like kind of like when you look at there's these Game Boys and like emulators you can buy on Amazon, has like 2,000 games and everything. If they started doing stuff like that with like the old gaming consoles, like not handhelds, but PlayStation 1, 2, 3, Xbox 360, stuff like that, Nintendo 64, and some other games, if they started having like emulators, like emulator consoles, I definitely feel they could definitely make a huge profit off of that.
So basically, like how Nintendo, like you can go on there and go to eShop or something like that, you can still play the old Super Mario or something like that if you wanted to.
Well, they do have them for free. Some of those games Nintendo does. Like there's 2 games now. There's like big packs and everything, but that's honestly about it. But Nintendo's even even buttholes about it. Like they're breaking it on emulator
Yeah.
websites and everything.
Oh, classic
But-
Nintendo.
Yeah. If y'all got anything else y'all want to add real quick.
Well, I think it's best. I mean, obviously, you know, the way we're moving in technology is, you know, steaming towards digital.
Yeah.
And, you know, with
Mhm.
recent stuff like like you mentioned, the PS5 having a digital only thing, I'm kind of curious how that's gonna develop as time progresses. Does that mean Sony and, you know, to an extent, all these other companies are more willing to keep their services online for their future, for like for these consoles? Meaning, even if we ever get to like a PS7, will the PS5 store, or the PS4 store still be running?
I'd say PS4 store would probably be the one to go first. It'd be like how PlayStation 3. By that time, everybody's on 2 different newer consoles, so they probably look at it as, well, not a lot of people still playing this, so we're gonna shut down.
So I think it'll be really interesting how things go going forward. And well, there's gonna be a lot of talk about it in the future.
I mean, I'm a physical disc kind of guy. Like I miss going to like midnight releases and stuff like that for Call of Duty and all that. Get your disc, coming home at 12 o'clock in the morning and playing that SOB. But
What you should totally do here soon, go on YouTube and look up the Online Gamer by Reckless Tortuga. It's a very good classic. I was watching it just the other day, and it was about this employee working at this store, kind of like GameStop, but it's called Next Gen, and they're prepping for the Black Ops pre-ordering and stuff. It's definitely you can definitely find some classics on there, but yeah, it's like going to midnight releases used to be like really big thing.
that was
now,
so fun.
Yeah, now it's basically it's a click of a button to pre-order, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
You can download it an hour early and be sitting at home as soon as it's 12 or 11 or whenever they decide to release it. Bam, get on.
Or you have some like EA pay $15 a month or pay an extra $20 on release and pay it like 2 weeks early.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot that could be honestly be said about like when it comes to physical and digital. I mean, if anybody likes to talk about it, like that's listening and everything, feel free to come in and reload and we'll chat about it and everything. Like we're always open to hear what everyone has to say about it. I personally believe like if companies and everything want to keep things physical, they need to come up with new ways to make things stay physical. Like, you know, like emulators are pretty much the go-to when it comes to like old retro handhelds. Why can't they do something with the PlayStation and Xbox, you know?
Then
Like-
why can't they make a disc that is physically capable of holding like 100 and something gigabytes? Cause you know USBs used to hold like freaking like 2 gigabytes, and now you got like 128 gigabyte USB drives and all kind of.
Oh no,
like,
no,
all
no,
this
no,
stuff.
no. Oh no, you got 1 terabyte USB drives for $40 now on Amazon.
Yeah, you got all this, but how come like you just think like why don't they do like they could? I don't know. Well, I don't know if it's possible if you could do it with a disc, but I'm sure they can figure out a way. They figure out a way for everything else.
I'm pretty sure, like, if, like, I'm basically, you know, just throwing an idea out there. If they had a store, you get a flash drive or something, or you get a little console, and you only have so much allowed storage in it, right? Or let's say you get the console, but you get the stick, and you have to buy the stick and download the games to it, but you still have to buy the stick and the
dude.
games.
What if they fucking, instead of disc, they just showed you a flash drive that held the whole fucking game on it, and it had like a picture of the game on it? That would be
Well,
fucking cool.
Or that was technically what I was meaning. Like, they could do that with just games itself. But if they had like a console for it or anything, because other than that, you're basically just going to use PC, which nothing wrong with PC. A lot of people like to use their TVs and everything,
That'd be like the new physical, because you still have a physical thing. You hook it in, it's a USB drive. It's the game. Make it to where, say if it's Sony's, it only works with Sony's. And then it can hold the whole damn game. Instead of having to download stuff besides maybe updates and stuff. That would actually kind of be cool, because you can still go to midnight releases and it still keep it kind of going. I know that's kind of like some way crazy crap to talk about, but I think that would be kind of cool.
I think honestly, I think that would probably be the new physical is USB drives. Because honestly, like, I'm in class and that's basically it. Because it even says, like, at this point, optical drives and everything are almost coming, like, useless. Like, it's coming up elite.
Even my laptop don't even have a DVD drive or anything.
Like, and that's the thing, because used to back in the day, like, if you had antivirus or you go to Best Buy or go to Walmart and you look through the software, you had to use disk and you had to have a disk drive. Now all you need is to download something and put in a code, and voila, shebang. Yeah, and then look, shebang, you got it. You got pretty much what you just bought physically on pretty much like digital. Like, all you gotta do is just have that code and it's all digital and everything. That's why gift cards and everything start getting like more and more popular than giving games themselves. Like, when was the last time any of y'all got a physical copy of a game for Christmas or birthday?
Actually, that's been such a long time. I think it was actually like a year or two ago, and that was Jedi Fallen Order.
Well,
I'll probably go ahead, Lenny.
My PlayStation 5 came with a physical game, so...
Well, I guess that makes sense. I was gonna say, well, I mean, if you got one of those, yeah, that makes sense. But from me and Braulio here, I probably ain't receiving an actual physical copy of a game. Like, I probably ain't bought one in years before I deployed the second time, and I was buying some PlayStation games because they were cheap. Because PlayStation 4, for a while, the games were cheap, and that's how like you could still do today. But the last time I probably been gifted, it would have been probably back in high school for me, like almost 7 years ago now.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy how far stuff's came, because you just gotta think, back when I was like 15, we still had flip phones. Now look where we're at.
Yeah, I still... I was sitting there thinking, because recent events in the South with the tornadoes and everything. Last time we had that, I had a flip phone pretty much recording F5 tornado. So,
and now you can record it in 4K with your Samsung Galaxy S52.
Basically, with how like storage is on phone and everything and all that, I could literally record a tornado from one side of my state and then go all the way to the other side of the state, about 300 miles. And I bet you I still have a lot of space. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's phones with terabytes now. I'm just sitting here
or you can just live stream it.
You can live stream it now. You can upload that immediately up to YouTube, no problem.
You can upload it until it sucks it. You can live stream it up until it sucks it right out of your head.
Let's go!
We're going on a trip, guys.
We are the Nader Hunters. But yep. Alright, we're gonna go start our ad break. We'll go ahead, pause our recording and everything. We'll be right back, y'all. Enjoy the ad break. We won't be long.
Okay, now we're back from that ad break, and with this we'll talk about a little it's a little something I think everyone's on their mind, or maybe not. Specifically, I want to talk about Cyberpunk, the infamous game from 2020. As you guys probably know, it was it was one of the more hyped games.
one
I was
of the
going-
hottest
Yeah.
games that got announced at the time.
See, in 2020 there were disaster every month. Cyberpunk was December's disaster. A game, as Brother Money's pretty much said, a game so hyped for years, almost a decade, ever since that whole entire teaser came out. And if you had an Xbox One, Xbox One S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Pro, your dreams were crushed.
Mhm.
And it depends on your PC, your dreams were crushed too. The only people that got to pretty much enjoy this game were high-end PCs and Xbox One X. That was it. And new consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X, like the ones that got to have the Cyberpunk and all that too.
I hate it too because I was really excited about it, and then finally, like, I wasn't gonna get it like right when it come out. I was gonna wait a little bit, but as soon as I saw like gameplay and stuff of it, I was like, man, they have this way. It kind of made me sad.
It was
I was
good
really
for sure,
hoping.
Yeah, so I got to play it immediately. I was there when the Steam servers crashed. I still remember it like yesterday. So it was actually down for hours. Like you could, like the game released and like Steam just crashed. Well, I got on, came across my first bug literally in the introduction scene when you create your character. But turned out it pretty much was a setting. So to be fair, that was just kind of there. But so I was playing a little bit. I ain't had too many issues with it. It wasn't until like the very most important scene of the whole entire prologue. Mind you, the prologue's pretty long. Depends how you play. And literally one of the most like important scenes, a gun is stuck to a object, and I'm seeing a gun go through like physics through someone's head, and it just ruins the scene. I'm just like, Jesus. I'm sitting here streaming this too, and you just see disappointment in my face. Overall, like the game was good, but some of the stuff that were promised, like next gen material, like like a lot of people brought it up, the police spawning out of thin air. I noticed that the first time. I'm just sitting here like, okay, what's the point of this? And you escape them easily. And then someone brought it up too. You look one way, and like you see all these pedestrians and stuff. You turn around, you look back, you won't see the same pedestrians. That was definitely one of the big things that was turning me away. And the ray tracing, ray tracing still in beta, but it may just be my vision, but there's really not too much of a difference besides water puddles.
I think one of the biggest selling points for that game was because that was the time, Keanu Reeves was kicking off. And if he wasn't on that, like, if he wasn't part of that game, I don't think in my opinion, I don't think it would probably sell as much as it did.
Yeah.
No, legit, he's definitely was a great character in the game. Hands down. Very good character. And the story was good, but I feel like they lied about a lot of things when they were introducing the game itself before official release codes. You had these three lifestyles, and they were supposed to be different from each other, like the whole entire story. And turns out they wasn't. Like you had Nomad, you had Street Kid, and you had a Corpo. Well, when you're sitting here selecting these people or these whatever origins, you're sitting here thinking, okay, so I get to enjoy different things. Well, turns out it only matters only like a short amount in the prologue, and that's it. All it pretty much is just different on where you start out in the world. If you could just kind of think Dragon Age, basically, like Dragon Age Origins, the very first one, gained probably before 2010. You got to choose if you were an elf, dwarf, or human, and either race still had like different backgrounds. So you had that, right?
Yeah.
But the difference was you had those stories flashing back throughout the actual story. So with that system of Cyberpunk, that's a downgrade compared to Dragon Age Origins, because it only mattered in a little bit, and the only thing you ever got from it was dialogue choices, and that was it.
Yeah. One thing, I know this is kind of like off subject, but kind of the same subject, is if either you played Anthem.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
Well, I played
I have.
the beta, but not the actual game.
Whenever we talk about the subject, it kind of reminds me of like the Anthem thing, except it's kind of like switched around. Like Anthem, like it is a beautiful ass game. You can fly around. It's just nice. It just overall graphics, like everything is just nice about it. But the story, if they would just have worked on the story and actually put some, time into it, that would have been a great game.
We actually talked about that in a previous episode, because Anthem 2.0 was being talked about, but it got rejected by EA and BioWare. They dropped it completely, so Anthem's for sure dead. And that was one of the things I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly if I said anything bad about the story, but I do know the story concept is good, but the execution definitely was terrible. The social hub that the game had, terrible.
Yeah, all that was, but dude, the flying, oh my god.
Yeah.
And the
one of the deal breakers for me was BioWare kind of has that if you play both Dragon Age and Mass Effects, it's like you're going against something that's going to cause the end of the world always, But Anthem don't really feel like that, even though granted you're going against this big boss who at the end is trying to become this big thing that's supposed to be like a game changer, but you're literally just a freelancer just defending a town.
Yeah.
Like that's it, and the map was small. Like for you to be flying around and everything, the map was small.
They could have done a lot of things.
Yeah,
they could. They could have made that game a hell of a game.
And that's the thing. We were talking about Cyberpunk, and now we're talking about Anthem. That's the issue with games like that, and the Assassin's Creed Unity was it before hyped up game and then failed because it was buggy.
Hey, there's so much potential, and then they just basically give up.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the thing. It's like a lot of these are AAA developers, and that's why indie developers are starting to become really, really popular now. Like CD Projekt Red was one of the developers that had literally a golden platform. Like they were literally on the top, and then when Cyberpunk came in, boom, that very much just went crashing down, turned into fool's, pretty much into fool's gold. All of it just comes crashing down, and then now they're being attacked and leaked by hackers, which, by the way, thanks to leaks, Cyberpunk was supposed to have 10 free DLC for expansions, by the way. But that all got pushed because guess what they decided they had to do instead? They had to fix the entire game. Well, also don't forget Cyberpunk is supposed to have multiplayer and open source later, so we'll get
they didn't have multiplayer when it come out?
No, it wouldn't go be for another a year. Because I remember talking to my cousin about it. Yeah, there was supposed to be the single player, a DLC, and then they're gonna have multiplayer, and then after 2-3 years they're gonna make it open source.
After all of that, they didn't even have multiplayer at the beginning.
No.
Oh my god.
I do believe if they added third person multiplayer in that game would be amazing. And yes, if you didn't know, there is no third person.
I didn't know that either. I'm disappointed. Fuck.
Yeah, the only time you're a third person is when you're in a vehicle, and to be in the world of cyberpunk and everything, you can't even change the look of your character.
But it's made. It's made.
And yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was a deal breaker for a lot of people because cyberpunk, you want to try to make pretty much just like anything. Like you want to actually look like a cyborg almost if you wanted to, but no, you still look human. You just get some facial features and that's it. And then you'll get some, lines or tattoos here and there on your body, but that's all it. You can't look like who was those guys with the weird looking ones? They're like marauders or something in the north side of the city, like one of the very first missions. Can't look like that. You can definitely, like, if you remember the teaser, the mantis arms, like have swords coming on you. You can definitely have that, but it's no fun when you're playing in first person, sadly.
Yeah.
You're literally just running, swat, person's dead, swat, person's dead, and that's it. And there's no, unless I checked, there wasn't a dismemberment in the game either.
Yeah, no multiplayer. Like I said, like most games now are multiplayer. They're going to want to play like something like that with their friends.
We're supposed to add it. I don't know if they're still going to. Hopefully they still are going to work on it, but that's just something we have to hope for, honestly.
Yeah.
Alright. So there's a lot of things that could happen with Cyberpunk. I enjoyed it. Like, it's a good game, but with it when I played it, it was a 7 at best because, like, literally the only thing you pretty much had was the story or just go run around doing stuff. There wasn't no incentive to really do anything. There's not a lot of customization. It's basically, think Watch Dogs Legions. You got a story, and you got some side. Well, Watch Dogs Legion kind of flopped too, especially with that feature in it too.
So they disappointed too.
Yeah, no, that whole game was a disappointment. There wasn't even a lot, like for that game, there wasn't even a lot of customization either, by the way.
Because I haven't played it, but I know it's supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to, every time you like die, wherever you become somebody else or something like that.
Oh no, there's a difficulty that prevents that, so.
Oh my god.
Yep. There's a lot of games, like I was about to say earlier, there's a lot of games that's just been disappointing. But let's go on to some new topics. A lot can be said about Cyberpunk. Alright. Microsoft and Discord.
Oh boy.
So this has definitely been very, very big, and as the first big topic that we go over, Xbox has been making a lot of moves. They may be acquiring Discord, and I would like to see how that's going to work if they ever actually did. I don't know if, because that was something that was talked about a long time ago, is they were talking about using the Discord API into using the party system instead. That'd be actually pretty lit, but I don't know how in general it would work if they did have Discord out, because like there's some like LinkedIn and everything that Microsoft owns, and they just leave it alone. But I like to see how that would work if Discord was officially acquired by Microsoft.
I'm not gonna lie, I think there's gonna be a bunch of ads.
There probably, I mean, Discord used to have ads. It used to have ads, but they got rid of it. But
everybody's buying subscription of the Nitro now and stuff, so Trey can afford not to shove them down your throat.
Well, a lot of people also think that Discord is private. It's really not. A lot of people tend to, think that, but Discord's actually not private. Like, they still keep logs of your sign-ins and data and everything.
That's about everything nowadays, though.
Yeah, like
you can't do nothing without accept cookies, or like we got to use this to basically show you something we can sell you.
Yeah, that's pretty much why. Yeah, like if it's something you see on Google, Apple, or anything, they sell your data, like 100%.
They should write up.
Yeah, and it's not. And a lot of people don't realize it, but it's not only that, but a lot of that information is gathered by your ISP. So everything you do on Discord can be known by your ISP. So
That you can be looking up like a bar of soap or something, and then you get ads about freaking a bar
bars
of
of
soap.
soap. Yeah, yeah. Well, that could definitely be one of the downfalls for Discord if they got acquired. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't really see too much bad into it. Besides the ads. But-
Yeah, it's the main problem I'm thinking of.
But we just have to see how that all works out in the end, pretty much. Like, who knows? They may not even acquire them. I mean, I ain't researched too much into it because, like, that's just the thing. They were in talks, and everybody's coming up with all these theories. Sony's coming all these, like, Sony people's coming up with all these theories and everything. So it's just like, what are they gonna do?
If they got it, they'd probably integrate something to do with you can talk to people on Xbox Live and all that, and there's no.
That's what I was.
And
That's
then
what I was
Discord would
thinking.
be able to be downloaded on. Well, no, I think it's already able.
I think that's what we're gonna do. Is like, how you had the friends list and everything, but they're going to integrate it with like a Discord thing too.
Yeah,
you already-
then
Like Microsoft
you
has the
are saying-
hashtag. Yeah, because Microsoft has the hashtag stuff and everything too. So,
Yeah,
and then you can already go to the Xbox Game Bar and link up your Discord, and people can find your Discord through Xbox. So, I mean, Microsoft and Steam's definitely been like coming with a lot of integrations and stuff. So, I'm guessing that's pretty much where like where we was talking about physical versus digital. A lot of stuff is going to start like digitally. It's going to start becoming more integrated.
yeah.
But there-
Kind of.
There's just a lot that could come from it, but who knows if they actually even get anything from it. They may just buy Discord just on Discord.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe that's the case where it just be, the same old Discord of, but just Microsoft owns it. But
Big fat
until
Microsoft.
that happens, you just never know.
Yep.
They can do whatever they want with it.
Alright. So, speaking of which, so, we basically not really much for us to talk about, but so let's talk about some mobile gaming for a little bit. League of Legends. Y'all know League of Legends is on mobile?
I had no idea
Haven't
until.
seen those ads.
Yeah, Wild Rift just came out. So, yeah.
But then again, you gotta think the phones are starting to be able to be made to handle games. But the downside with that is still like ever since they first started with gaming for phones, you still got the problem with the battery. Not lasting long.
Yeah, the battery is still an issue.
When you want to play games, you want to play games most of the time. You ain't
I
gonna
mean,
sit there.
that's basically about any. That's basically almost about any handheld too. Switch still dies easily. The my handhelds die easily. The ones that emulators I have, and VR headsets die
Yeah.
easily plugged in. So that just pretty much is how it is. Phones are like they got the best battery out of everything I just pretty much mentioned too, and that's also another sad part about it. But
And they
because
got
it has smaller batteries. But big thing is like League of Legends. Like, I mean, there's even like a lot more stuff you can even do on your phones because used to just your social ads, draw and everything. Now it's get to the points where people are working from their phones. So
You can do any. It's almost. It's about taking the place of your computer at this point.
yeah, that's why I tell people to invest in a tablet. even in my class, it literally even says like tablets are almost a go-to now for work.
That stands not one of them cheap tablets. 'Cause cheap tablet, I've had one. It's awful. It will not last long. And plus, doing gaming with say like a $30 tablet, you Yeah. But I guess that works for like anything though, because even like, say you went to Walmart and got like a cheap laptop, you ain't gonna be fucking running Battlefield in 4K on a Chromebook.
Yeah, definitely not. Hopefully that new Battlefield is 4K. Just hope. Well, yeah, there's like League of Legends coming to mobile. I mean, they had that Teamfight Tactics, which been on there for a while, and got a lot of other popular stuff, Minion Masters and everything coming to mobile.
Wait, what's that one that's always an ad that everybody uses?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah. Raid Shadow Legends. Can we get a spot? Can we get Raid Shadow Legends to sponsor this podcast?
Let's go. That's our next one.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll even make a voice for it. Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends, the best game your fingers will ever tap on.
Alright. So let's go on some gaming news. We've been talking a lot of hardware mostly, and some only like reviews and stuff. But I want to talk about Battlefield. You bring it up, and I want to talk about it now. So, okay. Okay. So Battlefield is supposed to be released this year. They're supposed to be bringing the modern aspect back to it, which is good. So, alright. Serious face now. Okay, so there is a rumor that it will be a hub pretty much for all the games in the series. Mind you, that's only a rumor. But when Battlefield's been set in modern, it's always been very, very big. Battlefield 4 was Hardline was, but Hardline wasn't like, modern actual warfare. It was just cops versus robbers. But pretty much Battlefield 4 was the last big Battlefield hit. Battlefield 1 and 5 kind of was a hit or miss in a lot of things, so hopefully DICE actually does their job, because they were actually supposed to make one last year by their schedule, because it was like, what was it, every 2 years they made one?
More or less.
Well, this year would be 3. So if they, I'm hoping they definitely improvise. Like if they remaster Battlefield 3, like I'll still buy that. It don't even have to be 4. 3 was definitely.
Dude,
I definitely
Battlefield 3 is one of the best games ever.
I still remember Cargill and charging on that beach on Rush to this day. But yeah, there's a lot of rumors, but it's definitely going to be a very, very big announcement. I will probably say we probably won't hear much until summer about that. Probably July. Oh yeah, so I know we talked about League of Legends being on mobile. There is a Pokemon MOBA game going to mobile, but I don't know too much about that. I can't remember the name, but I know they've been making a lot of Pokemon games here soon too. I know we had like 2 announcements for it.
Yeah. Aren't they supposed to be remastering 2 of the old Pokemons?
No, well,
one
Pokemon,
but
one's like Breath of the Wild style, and one's like an actual remaster.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Alright, don't forget Pokesnaps definitely technically being remastered too, so. Alright. There's a game called Enlisted. I've definitely been seeing, like, it's supposed to be an Xbox exclusive last I checked, but I've been seeing a lot of trailers for it, like from Xbox and everything, so that actually may be really good. I know the open beta is supposed to open in April. It's supposed to be 100 players, so it's kind of like Hell's Let Loose, but probably play like a Hell's Let Loose, but Heroes and Generals probably style. So we just pretty much have to see how that goes. Here's some news that everybody knows. Warzone is still a mess, but hey, there's zombies close to the bank now.
Hey.
Warzone is still infested with hackers and everything. Yeah, and there's definitely been a lot of personal stuff being leaked through the game now, so you definitely gotta be careful. Yep. Also, GameStop is starting to sell graphics cards.
Ooh.
I'm down for that now.
But they don't have graphics card to sell. Remember that. You gotta remember, people can't even find a 1050 Ti no more.
Yeah, everything is hard to find right now. Because everybody's buying them graphics cards.
Yeah, because I have a Zotac RTX 2080 Super, $700. I'm gonna go to Amazon actually real quick and see how much it probably is. I want to check the price of that. RTX 2080 Super. Oh, can't even tell the price because probably, or does it? Yeah, the 1080 is more expensive than what my 2080 was. Here's a 2070 Super. Let's see all buying options. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. So a used RTX 2070, not a 2080, a 2070 is $1,400 used.
Nice. Oh yeah, you'd love to see it.
You scalpers!
It's like the PlayStation 5. I barely got it. That's a whole story itself. But
well, they're folks. So I'll tell this too. So here soon, they're actually supposed to be like having like in-store sales now for it, but it's going to be pretty restricted. So you have to actually go to a store and buy one.
I only allowed one per person.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Oh, hey, there's also a funny thing. Also, if you have Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can go to the Suez Canal and find the stuck cargo ship.
Oh my god!
Oh
really? That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
Well, not for the people who had to fix that shit, but like, that's cool. You can just fly over and you can see that it's stuck there.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Like, yeah. Smite is adding more Babylonian gods. King Gilgamesh will be added soon.
Nice.
They added Tiamats, which is basically like looks like a female version of Colon. Black Ops Cold War will be adding gunfight tournaments here soon.
Oh, hey. I like that idea.
Valheim update improves farming.
They got farming? I'll say that I haven't really played Valheim yet.
I never recommend it. That's just because I'm addicted.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, mostly that's pretty much, big news. Oh, so here's another news about the Battlefield game. I totally forgot because there was an article that did say something about it. So it's modern, right? But it's going to be semi-futuristic. So it's supposed to be set 10 years in the future. And another leaker is quoting near future setting like Black Ops 2.
Oh.
Well,
that's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, I heard Black Ops 2.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like almost futuristic as Black Ops 2. The last futuristic Battlefield was like Battlefield 2042, and that was like mechs and everything. Alright. As of right now, Easter is soon, this coming weekend. So you're definitely gonna start seeing a lot of spring. I know RuneScape's already got their spring event going out, no surprise there, but probably start seeing spring Easter bunny and spring outfits coming out.
Of course.
Oh, here.
Selling their skins.
Alright, I want to read this article real quick. Here's the headline: Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone getting file size reduction.
Let's go.
So I want to read this just a little tad bit. Okay, it says nothing but saying that they're just working on it.
I'm about to say, I think I've heard them say something like that before, and we're still waiting.
That's
Yeah,
really
I'm pretty
funny.
sure.
Right.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
guess at
Go
least
ahead.
you can go into it and file management and delete the campaign if you done played it and stuff. It makes it a little bit smaller, but it's still kind of ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Alright. Doom 3 VR gets a launch trailer, by the way. There is a Dark Souls style game. I remember the article. It says, "quote unquote," it's supposed to be all three combined.
Oh.
It's called
wow.
Siberia or something like that. Looks pretty dope. Another rumor for Battlefield 6 is what it's called, by the way. It's supposed to have a higher multiplayer count, and there will be a battle royale mode.
Oh my god.
I won't lie, Battlefield 5 was pretty decent, but everything was fine, but you know how it pretty much was. Sadly, still no news on Elden Rings.
Y'all think there ever be a Modern Warfare 4?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that reminds me. I've from somebody heard there was confirmation that there is going to be a Modern Warfare 2 remastered soon. Supposed to a Modern Warfare 2 remastered multiplayer, I should say.
I mean, they did do the first one,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess it makes sense. I'm waiting for the day, even though I know it might be like 10 years down the road from now. I hope Trey remasters entire Black Ops 2, just like it was, but new graphics, everything. Oh my god, that'd be the day that I'll be running outside screaming. As much detail as I'm gonna go into it.
Well, that's pretty much going to be big news that's stands out. A lot of other news, pretty much people already knows when it comes to Apex and Call of Duty and some are
Yeah.
Fortnite. There's pretty much not a lot, as is. I will say this: I did watch the Xbox reveal a few days ago. Don't save the world, something like that. Definitely looks like a good game. It's made by the developers that make Guacamelee, so I definitely keep like an eye on it. It looks like a dark humor Binding of Isaac a little bit. I wouldn't say Binding of Isaac, you're in hell or something like that, but you get the picture.
Mhm.
It's pretty much like a rogue. Alright, so okay. So brother, I know you said something about VR updates.
Yeah, guess this is the Raid Blast section on VR now, isn't it? So I think I gotta preface this first, right? The reason I want to talk about VR is we're a development team here at Reload Entertainment Studios, right? And for a long time now, I always saw VR as this interesting platform to talk about and make a discussion, right? So I want to preface this by saying I want this section of the podcast to be a sort of discussion, right? When I want to say this discussion, and then you guys in the comments or wherever send us your own thoughts, and then we can get this whole thing going. But essentially, as I mentioned, I think VR is a very interesting state right now. We see a lot of VR in popular culture, anywhere from the Matrix, right, which is probably one of the biggest catalysts for VR, to something like Sword Art Online, right? VR is pretty prominent in today's culture, probably more so than just 10 years ago, right? Maybe 10, 20, etc, etc, etc. So here, being developers, we see VR as a different means of storytelling, right? We have the traditional flat screen, but when you go into VR, it's not the same. And the reason I want to bring this up now is because, I had VR for about 2 years now, but I want to get the perspective of those who recently got VR, specifically Trey. I want to ask him questions and about how the experience was, and then I'll ask you guys, the viewers, questions, and then discuss about it. And so I guess Trey, what's the first big difference? I guess what's the first thing that stood out to you when you first put on the headset?
I'm actually standing up, moving around pretty much, and more in depth. Like I'm getting out my phone in my pocket. Like you can definitely burn some calories or anything, and it's actually a good way to stay in shape. I will say that. But most VR games, that's kind of not the point. But I kind of did feel like when I play Pavlov, I do like going through the guns and everything, and actually going through the motion to reload.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually kind of helps you learn how guns work. Some certain guns work too.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Saber, kind of helps your reflexes a lot. Like there's definitely a lot of benefits, and you could definitely feel like more in depth. Like if you cut everything else around you, you got a good space. You don't have to worry about running anything. You definitely have you definitely have a very good experience.
Yeah, it's a totally different world.
Yeah, my first experience with VR was similar too. And as I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if you guys remember this, but a year ago I did like this whole series of like playing through the whole Half-Life series, right? Because if you guys don't know, 1 year ago was the release of Half-Life Alyx, which is the continuation of the the long-awaited, long-treasured Half-Life series, which never got an update in like 10 plus years. So when Alyx was announced, I made it like my goal to like play through the whole series. I could play Alyx when it came out. So the storytelling when I first got into Alyx compared to like the previous games just felt so different from my perspective. Just because instead of there was this disconnect between the screen, the control, the mouse and keyboard, and then compared to actually being the head, the hands, the gun,
Yeah, actually being there.
Yeah, exactly. Like when this is the intro, so it's not really a spoiler. When the Combine, when you're in the elevator scene, the Combine, how their guns out, you can actually see, you could like, I guess you can almost feel that pressure of those like guns pointing at you, and that's what I thought was interesting, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
As developers, how do you think we could use these tools to shape our own storytelling? We talked about reflexes, we talked about different ways that can change it. Do you see VR being a huge avenue for storytelling in the future? Or
yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, like people like audiobooks are becoming a big thing for people now. Like, so VR could literally become like, because there's movies and videos and other stuff that we're not going to talk about on here, but I could definitely see VR being like a new way to definitely tell stories. Like for sure, like most of the time you won't even have to do anything, or you could. It could be like, some will call it a game, but it could be a book for you. You could relive moments and everything. Or, let's say there's a Game of Thrones like setting you're in, and you have these choices and everything, and every choice you make makes a very big consequence, and you get to see it through your own eyes basically. And let's say in the future, you get to actually speak and everything, and like stuff like that.
Yeah, or like you sitting down, like maybe say like another 30 or 40 years, you're in your history class or something like that. You can like go into the moments and learn about it and kind of like see what happened, I guess.
That'd definitely be an interesting concept, and I was actually just thinking about that while I was on VR, because there was a game I've been looking for. I had it on my wish list, but I can't find it no more. I have to look through it. But it was a strategy game, and like put you in like in depth of pretty much like looking over and everything. And that's what I was thinking, like because History Channel and everything, a lot of people don't realize it until later when they actually play the game. They use Total War to like relive those battles and everything. Like you go to History Channel right now, and like when you talk about Battle of 300, you talk about some big medieval battles and everything. They'll use like Total War as a simulation, basically. Like they'll use it and everything. And like, and then games like that, and games like that are also like if you're in a VR, like you could like almost relive those moments as a soldier or just overlooking the battlefield itself. There's just a lot of things you can definitely do in VR. Like we're just only going through the beginning of its possibilities right now, basically.
Yeah, definitely agree. Alright, I guess I'll end off this segment with one final. I'll kill it open end, right? You don't have to answer right now, but I want to leave it open ended. In that sense, the more closer we go into like full, I guess you could call it full dive virtual reality tech, do you think we as humans should invest more going inward, into technology? Or do you think there's still a need to venture out towards space and stuff? I'll keep it open-ended, and I'll just end the segment with that.
Alright, yeah, that's fair to me. Alright, so, we're kind of over the hour and everything. There's a lot of questions and everything when it comes to technology, VR especially. There's a lot of capabilities, definitely, that could be done with it. But, I'm going to conclude this episode. Next episode, we'll just pretty much have to see. We still have COVID and everything, so, like, conferences like E3. E3 is actually supposed to happen this year, but it's going to be a digital event. But if there's anything, we'll definitely be covering the next episode. But you always know a lot of things can happen in a month, especially in our world today. But I want to appreciate old Money coming in here with us, old brother being here with us again. We're going to conclude the stream. Like I said, I don't know what we're going to talk about next episode. But I'm pretty sure we'll have something definitely talk about. It could probably take 2 hours probably talk about. Who knows? But I appreciate y'all coming in. And y'all have a great April.